This CNN podcast brought to you by NBC Universal's Breach.
You're enjoying your Wednesday. I'm Veronica Dela Cruz at the CNN Center in Atlanta. Here's a look at what is happening right now in the news. Former Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld and 3 retired generals were on Capitol Hill today. They answered questions about the death of Corporal Pat Tillman. He's the Army Ranger who quit the NFL to enlist after the September 11th attacks and died in Afghanistan 3.5 years ago. Even though the Army suspected he was killed by friendly fire, the Pentagon didn't admit that publicly for more than a month. Rumsfeld says he can't recall when he first learned friendly fire might have been the cause. He rejects any suggestion of a cover-up. Taliban militants say the remaining 21 South Koreans they're holding hostage in Afghanistan are still alive. So far, the Afghan government has refused to give in to the militants' demands. They've threatened to kill all the hostages unless some Taliban prisoners are released. 2 of the hostages have been killed. The South Koreans, all members of a church group, were abducted about 2 weeks ago. There's been one bombing after another in and around Baghdad. At least 73 people are dead. The worst attack happened at a gas station after a fuel tanker rigged with explosives blew up. 50 people were killed, 60 were wounded. Earlier, a suicide car bomb exploded near an ice cream shop. 15 people died in that attack. The blast left a huge crater in the street, destroyed a number of cars and nearby shops. And in suburban Atlanta, investigators are looking into the exact cause of death of a mother and her 2 daughters. A friend found their bodies this morning in their home. 2 boys were also found unconscious there, but were alive. They were taken to the hospital in serious condition. One of the boys is the dead woman's son. There are indications that home sales could improve in the months ahead. The National Association of Realtors Pending Home Sales Index jumped 5% in June. This was the biggest monthly gain in 3 years, with increases seen across the country. At the same time, the index is down more than 8.5% from June of last year. And those are your headlines at this hour. For more on any of these stories, as well as other news of the day, don't forget that CNN is always your source online when you're watching TV or even when you're on the go.
Inside the FBI,
You're being tasked to keep an eye on an agent named Robert Hansen.
there are 2 kinds of people.
He's a traitor, Eric. It might be years before we truly know how many deaths he's been responsible for.
Those who would kill for the truth.
What if he's smarter than I am?
He's smarter than all of us.
And those who would die to protect it.
I never cared about making headlines. Wanted to make history.
Why don't we just arrest him?
Director wants him caught in the act.
Faith, family, country. Those are the things that matter.
Breach.